Okay, so in this video, we're going to go over the per pane pricing model. And now, when would you use the per pane pricing model? We used to use it when I was a solo operator, and I would go to people's homes and quote all of them in person. So let me bring up a street view here. So we've moved away from this model recently just because you kind of have to go in person to do these types of quotes, as most people don't count their windows properly. So they could say that they have 10 windows, but really they could have 20 windows, because they could be counting a large bay window as one. So as an example, some people would count that as more than one, but let's see if we can find a large bay window. So like this, some people would count that as one window. And to us, that's 3 windows. So this is pretty good if you're going to be going in person to bid every job. Per pane is great. So let's walk through some examples here on how you count a per pane pricing. So looking at this home, and again, per pane, per window, I use it interchangeably, but this right here would be 2 windows. 1, 2, 1, 2. This bay window would be 3 windows. Sometimes, depending on these sizes, this could be 1, that could be 1. You could count these two together as 1, so that could be 3 windows. Kind of up to your discretion on where you divide the line on window sizes. But we'll go through this road here, and we'll do some examples. So let's do this guy here. So this would be 1, 2, 3 windows, all one story, pretty accessible. We do $10 per window. So here's an example of, I'd count this as potentially 2 windows. The end ones are smaller, the middle one's a little bit bigger. Again, it's one story, so they're easy. Little step ladder will be fine. That could be 2 windows. That one could be 2 windows. And in behind here, you can see there's another large bay window. That would be 3 windows. Something like this, 1 window. This is an example where you could go 2 to 3 windows. I kind of count the middle pane as 2 when you have to get down from your ladder and move over to be able to reach edge to edge. So if you can't sit up in the middle here and do the whole window in one go, then I count it as 2 windows, because you're technically having to set up again for a second window. This, again, size dependent, I might count as 2. Looking at it here, I'd probably just go 1. That one I would go 2. It's hard to give you an exact framework for per pane, but I'm going to try to give you enough examples for you to have something to work with. Large windows, that's 1 pane like this, I count as 2 windows at least, because again, you can't set up in the middle and reach to there and reach to there. You're going to have to set up here and then set up here, so that'd be 2 windows. This I would count as 1. This I'd count as 2, because again, you can set up right here and do those ones. You can set up right here and do those ones. So that's a good rule of thumb. If you have to reset, that counts as another pane. Now, we don't charge differently based on floors. Like, we're not going to do $8 for a lower window and then $10 for a higher window. It kind of evens out, just doing $10 per. And again, over time, increase those prices. We moved up to $12 as we built our client list, our reputation. We built up to $12 per pane. Now let's try to find us some larger places. Some more difficult homes. So deck glass, we do $8 per pane for both sides. So an example like this one, one window, this one here, I'd count as 3, 1, 2, and 3. When you get up to like these smaller ones, bathroom windows, I sometimes count them as 2. Again, depending on difficulty, going up here, that's going to be a very difficult window to do. So you could, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sliding glass doors, we count as 2 windows because they're large. I'm going to link down below a couple walkthrough videos I've done on YouTube of me walking around properties counting windows, so you can kind of get an idea there as well. But again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like I wouldn't count these little ones as anything separate. I would just count that as 1. The middle one is 1. The end one is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's one down there. 10. And you can see why quoting on maps per pane doesn't really work, because you can't really ever see the backside. This is why this is only really good when you're going in person. Here's another big home. So these ones are where you can start thinking about 2 windows. This little bit bigger, I'd count them as 2 windows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, not really counting these little ones as anything separate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I would usually just count all those door ones as 1 window. These ones, I would usually just count that as 1 window, small, all in one place, easily accessible. Something like this, I would count as 2 windows. Now I would include this little one up here as a window, so 1 window, 2 window. This large one, this is another good example. I'd probably count this as 2 to 3 windows. You have to do that little one. You're gonna have to squeegee twice sometimes to do the top half and then the bottom half. So you'd be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 windows just for this area here, inside and out. So close $70 to $80 just for that section of windows. This should be a great house. You have deck glass. One window. Again, up here, I'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember to jump into the community after watching these videos. Ask any questions. Jump on the live calls weekly with us with specific questions, and we can jump in maybe to a house that he's quoted and you want some help on. Here's a decent example here. So I'm counting all of these. So I would probably go 1, 2, 3, and then 4 up top. So this could be 4 windows. Well, actually, I've done the house around here. So this one, here's a great example again of a lot of little ones. So how would we price this house? I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Right, a lot of little windows. Right, 1. I probably count that as 2, 1, just because it's higher up. I'd count it as 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is working through per pane. So as you can see, it's a little bit more difficult. You kind of have to come up with your own discretion on like when it becomes 2 windows. Again, I flip-flop back and forth on sizes and stuff. Difficulty kind of plays a role in it as well. But this is per pane. You have to kind of quote in person. the best way to do a per pane pricing. Jump in the community, ask questions, show us some videos, jump on the live calls. The next video I'm going to show you how we change to square footage and different questions we ask so we could price over the phone with our virtual assistant.